All right, we're going to be talking about the number one overall pick being traded, what this means to Dynasty fantasy football and fantasy football in general. So if you were living underneath a rock, the Bears traded the first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers, which is not a surprise. This is not a surprise in the sense that I even made some bets with some friends that as soon as the Houston Texans had blundered the first overall pick, that the Bears were going to immediately trade that first overall pick to a different team. They were going to trade out of this. They weren't going to sit there. I know that there's some great defensive prospects, but they were going to trade back and get a ransom, and they did. They got the number 9 overall pick, 2 seconds, another first from 2024, and then they also got DJ Moore. So what does this mean for DJ Moore? What does this mean for the number 1 overall pick? Who's it likely going to be? Well, I mean, Vegas, I think it was minus 350, so they are putting a lot of money or odds on it being CJ Stroud instead of Bryce Young. So what does this mean to Houston? It might not matter to Houston, honestly. So if Bryce Young was their guy, they still might get him at number 2. And so this might not matter at all, but Carolina could move back. We'll see. I don't think that that's going to happen. They paid everything to get CJ Stroud, and so, or the number 1 overall pick, we'll just say. I think the quarterback that goes to Carolina is going to have some difficulties. Let's just look at the roster. They don't have a good running back. They really don't. I mean, you have Chuba Hubbard, and then you have Deontay Foreman, but you don't even have a good wide receiver now. DJ Moore was traded to the Bears. You have Terrace Marshall. You have literally no one else, and you don't have a good tight end. You have no weapons. And it's not like it's going to get better soon. There's no good free agents this year out there. Juju's going to probably stay in Kansas City. He's the best one of the bunch. So you're looking at poor free agents. And then you look at what 2024, they don't have a first. They gave away, they gave away all their future. I would say not all their future. They have a 2024 second. They still have a second in this 2023 draft, I believe, from what I was reading up on. They must have had 2. And so they have traded a lot. An absolute lot, and it's not like the Carolina Panthers are going to be bringing in the reinforcements for wide receiver or tight end or anything. So CJ Stroud, although I like him a lot, this is going to be a potential struggle spot. Now, if I see Anthony Richardson goes to the Colts, goes to the Vegas Raiders, Anthony Richardson could hop CJ Stroud. Just because of literally situation and upside of Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, they don't have the weapons. They don't have the necessary talent around him. And if this is Bryce Young that goes first overall, let's just kind of switch gears. Let's just say this is Bryce Young that ends up going first overall. I think that Bryce Young could get demoted down to a spot or 2 in the quarterback rankings for whether it's 1 QB or Superflex. And so, especially Superflex, I think you're going to see Bryce Young, whoever goes to Carolina, I think might go down a notch or 2. Yes, the number 1 overall pick. That is awesome. But we've seen this before. We've seen the Baker Mayfields. We've even seen other quarterbacks like Jared Goff be the number 1 overall pick. And we've sometimes even seen the best quarterback be the 2nd or 3rd quarterback being taken when it comes to fantasy football, which is what we care about. And I see a very hard road ahead for CJ Stroud. It's not like the Trey Lance where you trade up as a San Francisco team and you already have Debo and you already have good weapons around him. And that's just the frustrating part for Carolina is they just don't have weapons around him. So that quarterback's going to have a hard time succeeding just with no weapons. Now let's talk about the Bears. What does this mean for Justin Fields? What does this mean for DJ Moore? I think DJ Moore is going to have a slight... I almost in my head want to say slight down, a decrease, slight increase. I'm just like, he's probably going to stay about the same. He's going to be a 1,000-yard wide receiver. It just matters, can Justin Fields actually get him the ball? Because DJ Moore has had horrible quarterback play his entire career. And now you're going to have Justin Fields, who's not been a very typical good quarterback. He's been a very good rusher. So I think this is going to be kind of status quo for DJ Moore. Wide receiver 2, wide receiver 20. Like, that's what you're going to get out of DJ Moore. This is a huge downcrease for Darnell Mooney. Cole Kmet, it probably is a slight decrease for Cole Kmet just because you're going to have a wide receiver 1 now on the team, an actual wide receiver 1 taking away quality, good targets. DJ Moore's never been a big touchdown getter anyway, so for Justin Fields, I think this helps him a hair. So if you move Justin Fields just a slight uptick on his passing, I think that is acceptable to do because DJ Moore is good yards after catch and yards after contact. So this is, again, slight increases for Justin Fields. DJ Moore may about the same. Whatever wide receiver 20 gives to you, that's about where he's at. Slight decrease for Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, all little decreases here. And so Carolina, what Terrace Marshall is going to be very interesting. Does he get the wide receiver three now? Wide receiver 3 breakout year for him. He's worth a flyer. He's going to be the only wide receiver there, and he's had high draft capital. So we'll see what Carolina ends up doing. But we've seen teams. Houston is a prime example where the team is just that bad, where there's no good fantasy options coming from the wide receiver position. And so Terrace Marshall might be the wide receiver 1 by a huge margin. But if he has the Darnell Mooney year of last year, or the Nico Collins year of last year, or the Brandon Cooks year of last year, you'd be kind of going, well, that sucks. He's the wide receiver 1 on his team, but the team sucks. And so I honestly think that you're going to see a lot of that, and Bears are going to get a really good 2024 first. And so Bears win this trade. Boo. The Bears, of course. Why does this have to happen? Why did Lovie Smith have to do this? And Lovie Smith, if you didn't know, was the Houston coach that went for it on a deep fourth, made it, and scored for 2 and won that game so Houston could get out of the first overall pick, and then got immediately fired afterwards. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out. Let me know what you think about the trade. Take care. We'll see you on Monday.